this is where the mask should cover. And when it does that, then no, your patient is, that mask is good enough for your patient. We have individuals who may be very difficult to intubate because of probably anatomy and other features. Okay? Because when you do this, for ladies, yes, because of maybe, let's say, for air purpose, if you have too much air on the face and you put this mask, it might create leaks on the side. So ventilating such a patient might be hard. But if you're experienced enough, you can give a very good seal and still ventilate your patient. Patient with micronephria. What is micronephria? Small jaws. Mouth is just like a full stop. So because this mask, the way they are made, they are in such a way, they have got a curve down. And you know, these medical equipments, they made them in such a way, like individuals are the same. There are no special considerations taken. Okay? But of course, you try and use within your means, save a life at the end of the day. So this is what you use, mask device. Which plan is this? It's plan what? Jesus Christ. Joshua, which plan is this?
That is plan B.
Plan D? No.
Plan C.
Which plan is this? Plan C. You understand what we mean by plans, eh? I know others don't understand. These are airway management plans. Let me give it for the benefit to those who rotated and did not get this, and those who are yet rotating. Plan A is putting advanced airways, where you use what? Endotracheal tubes, laryngeal mask airways, tracheal tubes, esophageal intubating tubes. Plan B is where you use, oh, I've now mixed it up. Okay, I've mixed it up. Okay, plan A is just using endotracheal tubes. Okay, yeah, and the intubating tubes, tracheal intubating tubes. Plan B is using laryngeal mask airways and nasopharyngeal airways and the oropharyngeal airways. Plan C is using ambubags, bag mask device. Then plan D is using emergency airways, critical thyroidotomy sets, oral tracheostomy sets. You have what we call can't ventilate, can't intubate, can't ventilate, or can't intubate, can't oxygenate. Patient is just there. You're seeing the patient dying. You have given your meds. Patient is paralyzed, not breathing, not getting oxygen. You can't intubate, can't oxygenate. Then you access the airway surgically. Approach here. Put critical thyroidotomy tube or do an emergency tracheostomy. That is plan D, yeah? So as I was asking, this is plan C. Now, how do you handle these masks? This plan C device onto the patient, how do you handle it? Is the other lab still open? The simulation?
We have
It's closed. No, I need this. I saw one there which is open. I didn't want to open this one. I can give you 30 seconds to retrieve me one of this, just for demonstration. How do you handle it? You have one, eh? I can use this mask, it's fine. I give you a mask, right? Yeah, let me use, yeah, this one is okay. It's fine. It's okay. And the dummy is there? The big one. No, give me the small one. Give me that small one. It's that. I can demonstrate here. Please. Give me the weight. There. That's pretty good. That's better. You guys don't bathe your mannequins. Because I've not showered in the last 3 years. It's okay. Even the shirt is torn off. So, I'm assuming this is my patient. This patient, if you were to help them, there was somewhere where I was, I found in casualty, the MO there was trying to ventilate his patient.
It's okay.
And the patient's head, the patient was like this. And the MO was this side, like this, back in the patient. And do you know how the neck was? And they're bagging the patient. That is dangerous. It is fatal. Your name is? Your name is? Xavier. You will kill a patient if you do this. Make sure you always on the patient's head, just as I am right now. And then, assuming this is the right mask for the patient, you can also test. It covers nicely. I think the eyes are avoided, though it is quite longer, slightly longer. But I can ventilate the patient using this and save a life to me. I'll grab this from here. This is my C. The E clamp comes here. Dear bony prominence. This is the E clamp, CE. Have you seen on this, the CE clamp? The C is on top. The thumb, the other side, and this index finger. Then the E are these three on the bony prominence. That is. Now, if I'm using one hand technique, this is how I'll grab it. And I make a good seal. But if my effort is more this side, I'm going to create a hole here because it's going to bend. And if there's a hole here, this is where the leak is going to be. So if I'm ventilating my patient, it will not be adequate enough. The air is being vented out, not into the patient's lung. Now remember, I have a hole here. That's the source of leak. If you have a tracheostomy like that, you would rather use a tracheostomy tube. Put it here and ventilate the patient through there. Now you don't need the mask in that way. Remove the mask and put. I told you we normally improvise this for tracheostomy tubes. In settings where we are desperate, we can cut this nicely through the tubing because it's used. This is used for ballooning this cuff. You cut it in that line nicely and leave it, and then cut across there. You don't again cut across all through. No, leave the line in that point, cut it, and then now disconnect this part, connect it there. This is a universal connector. You can get off. Then you connect it here, and then now from that point it connects here and ventilate the patient through here nicely. Okay. Because we already have a hole there. Yes. Now, assuming we don't have that hole, I can still use my mask and then using the EC clamp nicely here. Of course, you're not going to see the chest rise because there's air leak here. Then you do that. You do that. Here, the leak here. The air is just coming from her. But if I put my hand here, squeeze for me there. Squeeze that. I put a hand here. Maybe you'll see. Wait. Okay. I'm just improvising, but I wish we had something where there's no hole. But that's what you do. Now that is one person. 2 persons. You can use this to. Now using the CE clamp, I can put my hand here with this E on the bony prominence. This other side, it is the mirror image of what has happened the other side. The C also comes here, and then hand comes this side. Then the person someone else does the ventilation. That is 2 persons. 3 people, 2 people are on the airway. I'm here for the mask, she's on the back, another person on the chest compression. Those are 3 rescuers. And that's what happened. Sorry. You see, here are 2 people. Now, if you need that person for chest compression, that is what you do. Now we are on defibrillator, the automated one. We already discussed a few things there. We are now emphasizing more on this. And we know the purpose as to why we are using what? Automated external defibrillator. It's a computerized device that can identify an abnormal heart rhythm that needs a shock. And if it does not need a shock, it will also tell you no shock advised. Proceed with chest compression. If shock is advised, then you prepare for the shocking. Now the AED can then deliver a shock that can stop the abnormal rhythm of the heart momentarily to allow the heart's normal rhythm to return. That's why I said the scenario I gave Matthew. He gave us, after 2 shocks, we were able to go back to normal sinus rhythm. After 2 shocks. Yes. So it went back because we were having ventricular, pulse ventricular tachycardia. And we went back to the pacemaker. Now, early defibrillation. And the early defibrillation, you can only defibrillate early if it is indicated for defibrillation. Somebody asked in PEA, what do you do? Do you shock? You do not shock. You do chest compression. If you have decided to go advanced, chest compression, rescue breath, adrenaline, right? Then every 2 minutes, you check for rhythm and pulse, like that, every 2 minutes. So early defibrillation increases the chances. Okay. By that I mean everything has arrived in time. The defibrillator has arrived in time. You have recognized that this is a shockable rhythm. The first time you recognize it, you give a shock, the person's chances of survival is going to increase. And if the defibrillator arrives late, you have been doing CPR just because you're not sure whether it is shockable or not shockable, because you don't have the defibrillator. Then after maybe 10 minutes, the defibrillator arrives. You connect with the patient. The first thing you notice is shockable rhythm. Then you start preparing for the shock. Now that is going to be late what?
Defibrillation.
So it increases the chance of survival from cardiac arrest that is caused by abnormal or irregular heart rhythm, and of which you already know the two, right? Which is pulseless ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. This just describes how they are. It is originated from the ventricles and contracts very fast and rapid. That is ventricular tachycardia. But the ones that just have the heart to quiver like this, it is ventricular fibrillation. It just quivers. But you're going to see or look at the actual wave onto the monitor, how it looks like, how you can differentiate which one is this. How do I know? And I said you need to know the background. You need to have the background of what? Electrocardiogram analysis. This is just the steps in operating an EAD. The universal steps. The first time it arrives like this. There are different types, but in terms of operation, it's the same. This one you have just removed the battery because it keeps making noise.
Self-test. In case of emergency,
press the green on-off button.
I'm first going to close it like this.
If the orange button is flashing, press it.
I'm going to close it like this, assuming it is not talking. Assuming it is
If the
silent.
orange button is flashing, press it.
It has arrived. Like this. The universal steps.
If the orange button is flashing, press it.
Ignore the voice. Assuming it has arrived the way it is. You go
Shut
open
button
the carrying
not
case, right?
verified. Remove
And power
and
on.
reinsert battery
Yeah?
to test button.
Battery. Very nice. Please help us. Open the carrying case. These are the universal steps. And then power on the AED. Power on the AED. Where do you power from? Just leave it where it is. Power on. Power it on. Exactly. Switch it on. Okay. Switch on. Is it? That's enough.
Begin by removing all clothing from the patient's press pads firmly to patient's bare skin.
Are you seeing now? They have even told you, remove the clothes. You have removed.
Make sure that the yellow plastic liner is
Attach.
completely removed from both pads.
Attach the
Place
AED
pad
pads to the
exactly
victim's
as
bare
shown
chest.
in
You already
the
have a
picture.
bare chest.
Pads must not
And
be
avoid
touching
placing the
clothing
pads over
or each
clothing,
other.
medication patches, or implanted devices. Where are the pads?
Press pads
They are
firmly
inside.
to
There is one on
patient's bare
top. Pull
skin.
up. Yes, pull. Okay, attach the pads.
Make sure that the
assuming
yellow
you know where to
plastic
place the
liner
pads.
is completely removed from both pads. Place pad exactly as shown in the picture. Pads must not be touching clothing or each other.
See where to attach the pads.
Press pads
Even here,
firmly
it
to
shows you-
patient's bare skin.
It shows you where to put which side where. This one.
Make sure that the yellow plastic liner is completely removed from both pads. Place pad exactly as shown in the picture. Pads must not be touching clothing or each other.
Okay, we have that. It goes where? See where the red line is.
Press pads
Comes
firmly
there on
to
the left
patient's
side.
bare skin.
And this one goes where? Please. You can also guide yourself through.
Make sure that the yellow plastic liner is completely
bare chest.
removed from both pads. Place pad exactly as shown in the picture. Pads must
Exactly
not
as
be
shown
touching
where?
clothing or
In the
each
picture.
other.
Exactly as shown in the picture. Exactly as shown in the
Pads
picture.
firmly
How
to
do you see it
patient's
there?
bare skin.
Make it adhering very
Make
nicely
sure
on the
that the
screen.
yellow plastic liner is completely removed from both pads. Place pad exactly
So,
as shown
clear
in
the
the picture.
victim
Pads
and
must
allow
not be touching clothing
AED
or
analyze
each
the
other.
breathing. If you are doing the chest compression, you have attached the pads the way it is now. The AED
Press
will tell
pads
you
firmly to patient's bare skin.
you have done that. So it will tell you clear the patient to allow the
Make
AED.
sure that the yellow
analyze.
plastic liner is completely removed from both pads. Place
yellow
pad
plastic
exactly
liner
as
is
shown in the picture.
I think we have
Pads
removed it.
must not
It is
be
this one
touching
here.
clothing or each other.
Then after that, when it is analyzing, it will tell you is the shock
Press pads
Is shock-
firmly to
is
patient's
shock
bare
advisable
skin.
or no shock. If the AED advises a shock, it will tell you to clear the
Make sure
victim
that
and
the
then
yellow
give a shock.
plastic liner is completely removed
And that shock
from
you're going to
both
deliver
pads.
by pressing
Place
this
pad exactly
button.
as shown in the
Because
picture.
you're going
Pads
to
must not be
press
touching
that.
clothing or each other.
Now first ignore the voice, Ignore the voice. We are coming to
Press pads firmly to patient's bare skin.
ignore whatever the machine is saying. We are coming to number 5. If the AED prompts that no shock is
Make
advised,
sure that the yellow
Or
plastic
after
liner
any
is
shock is
completely
delivered,
removed from
immediately
both
do what?
pads. Place
Resume
pad
CPR,
exactly as shown
starting
in the
with
picture.
chest
Pads must
compression.
not be touching clothing
those who
or
are
each other.
doing chest compression, you have been told to clear.
Insert new
Okay,
pads
to deliver
cartridge.
shock. Shock has been delivered. Within seconds, 2 seconds, you must be back
Press
on
pads
chest
firmly
compression.
to patient's bare
And the cycle
skin.
goes again for another 2 minutes. Before another analysis is done for rhythm and
Make sure
bass.
that the yellow plastic
Then
liner
after
is
about
completely
5 cycles, that's the
removed
2
from
days.
both
It's just
pads.
exactly what I
Place
said.
pad exactly
Analyze
as
and
shown in
keep
the picture.
repeating.
Pads
Now,
must
if you
not
realize
be touching
we are doing
clothing
the sesa.
or each other.
Sesa. Like that.
Insert new pads cartridge.
After the third shock, you give amiodarone, 100 milligrams. The fourth shock, you give
Press
second dose of
pads
amiodarone at half
firmly
of
to
it.
patient's bare skin.
And this is what it will tell you. But remember, we are dealing with mannequins.
Make sure
By
that
now,
the yellow
this
plastic
machine
liner
will be-
is completely removed from both
Is it okay I can
pads.
attach
Place
it to
pad
one of
exactly
the-
as shown in the
Okay.
picture.
Yes.
Pads
Yes.
must not be touching clothing or each other.
No, it won't shock because if it is not shockable, it won't shock. It can only shock you when it is shockable. This is automated. Now listen. Now listen. He's asking what if he has the shockable rhythm? Have you looked at the chains of survival? Early recognition and prevention. You get? Early recognition and prevention. But remember, you need to check, is it pulseless? Which I doubt because you're with us, talking to us. Is it pulseless? It has to be pulseless. If it is ventricular fibrillation, which I believe by now you should have collapsed because of what happened to Erickson. He got it just like 5 seconds. He was down. You don't take long. I doubt you have it. Sincere. This is science. Okay. Can I use it on somebody? Yes. Volunteer. Volunteer. Okay. Anybody has a vest, maybe. I can put it under the vest. I can put it under the vest. That's fine. Don't worry. I think
What is he carrying in his pocket?
I'm going to, because we are putting it on this side. I want you to put it under there. So that this chest is not as exposed. Some people are not, some people might overreact. Can we stop the video, maybe? Maybe with this permission. With this permission.
Should we? Should we record? Should record it?
You let him say it when you're recording. He may change his mind.